Welcome back to USA Immigration Explorer. If you've been waiting for a sign of hope, clarity, and real progress in U.S. immigration, today's update is exactly that. January 2026 is starting with some genuinely positive news for immigrants across the United States. And this is not just small talk or rumors. We're seeing meaningful updates that affect work permits, green cards, visas, and even deportation policies. These changes matter right now because they can open doors to legal work, long-term stability, family unity, and peace of mind for millions of people who call the U.S. home, or hope to soon. Whether you are already in the U.S., planning to apply from abroad, or supporting a loved one through the immigration process, this update could directly affect your next steps. So stay with us because by the end of this video, you'll have a clear picture of what's changing, who benefits, and how you can take advantage of these opportunities. Let's start with work permits. Because for many immigrants, the ability to work legally is the foundation of stability in the United States. In January 2026, there is encouraging news around work permit eligibility, renewals, and processing times. One of the biggest improvements is the continued expansion of automatic extensions for certain categories of work permit holders. This means that if you file your renewal on time, you may be able to keep working legally for a longer period while your new card is being processed. This is huge, especially for people who have faced job interruptions in the past simply because their renewal was delayed. Another positive update is the push toward faster processing. For initial work permit applications tied to pending immigration benefits, applicants with pending asylum cases, adjustment of status applications, and certain humanitarian protections are seeing more consistent timelines compared to previous years. While processing times can still vary depending on location and case type, the overall direction is clearly toward reducing backlogs and giving people access to work sooner. For immigrants, this means less waiting, less stress, and more ability to support yourself and your family. Eligibility updates are also worth paying attention to. Some categories have seen clearer guidance on who qualifies, which reduces confusion and unnecessary denials. For example, individuals with pending family-based green card applications or employment-based adjustment cases are finding it easier to understand when and how they can apply for work authorization. If you are applying or renewing a work permit under these updated rules, preparation is key. Make sure your application is complete, your supporting documents are clear, and your filing fees or fee waiver requests are correct. Small mistakes can still cause delays even with improved processing. A practical tip here is to file as early as you're allowed to, especially for renewals. Keep copies of everything you submit, track your receipt notices, and sign up for online case updates. If your category qualifies for automatic extension, keep that receipt notice with your expired card as proof of work authorization for your employer. These small steps can make a big difference in maintaining uninterrupted employment. Now let's talk about green cards, which for many immigrants represent long-term security and a future in the United States. January 2026 brings some welcome developments in this area as well. One of the most talked about changes is the effort to reduce green card backlogs, especially in family-based and employment-based categories. While the immigration system is still complex, we are seeing signs of improved efficiency, including better use of available visa numbers and streamlined internal processes. For family-based applicants, there is positive movement in processing times for immediate relatives of U.S. citizens, such as spouses, parents, and unmarried children under 21. These cases are often prioritized, and the current updates suggest continued commitment to keeping families together. For preference categories where wait times can be longer, there is also hope as agencies work to clear older cases and reduce unnecessary delays. Employment-based green cards are also seeing encouraging trends. Certain categories with historically long waits are benefiting from better planning and allocation of resources. For skilled workers, professionals, and individuals with advanced degrees, the adjustment of status process is becoming more predictable. This doesn't mean everything is instant, but it does mean fewer surprises and clearer expectations. To make this more relatable, imagine someone who has been working in the U.S. on a temporary visa for years, contributing to their community and workplace but living with uncertainty. With these January 2026 updates, that person may see their green card case move faster, allowing them to plan for the future, buy a home, or pursue new career opportunities without fear of losing status. That's the real-life impact of these policy improvements. If you're pursuing a green card, now is a good time to review your eligibility and make sure your documents are in order. Birth certificates, marriage records, employment letters, and medical exams all play a role. Staying organized and responding promptly to any requests from immigration authorities can help you take full advantage of the improved processing environment. Moving on to visas, January 2026 also brings good news for people planning to work, study, or live in the U.S. temporarily. Several visa categories are benefiting from updated guidance and smoother processing. For work visas, this includes categories that support U.S. employers facing labor shortages. Clearer rules and more consistent adjudication are helping both workers and employers plan better. Student visas are also part of this positive update. Processing for international students is becoming more efficient, which is great news for those planning to start or continue their education in the U.S. Timely visa approvals mean fewer disruptions to academic plans and more confidence for students and their families. Exchange visitor and training programs are also seeing renewed support, emphasizing cultural exchange and skill development. Family-related visas, including fiancé and spousal visas, are another area of improvement. Reduced processing times and better communication are helping couples reunite sooner. For many families, this means less time apart and a smoother transition to life together in the United States. If you're planning to apply for a visa, preparation is again essential. Make sure your forms are accurate, your supporting documents are complete, and you're ready for your interview if one is required. Understanding the purpose of your visa and being able to explain your plans clearly can go a long way in building a strong application. Now, let's address one of the most sensitive but important topics: deportation-related updates. January 2026 brings some reassuring news for immigrants who are worried about removal. While enforcement remains part of the system, there is increased focus on prioritizing serious cases rather than individuals who pose no threat and have strong ties to the community. This shift provides a sense of relief for many families who have been living in fear. Certain policies are offering more protection to vulnerable groups, including long-term residents, individuals with family ties in the U.S., and those with pending applications for legal status. Deferred action and prosecutorial discretion are being used more thoughtfully, allowing people to remain in the U.S. while their cases are reviewed. This doesn't mean deportation is no longer a concern, but it does mean there are more opportunities to seek relief and stability. If you or someone you know is at risk of removal, it's important to stay informed and proactive. Keep records of your time in the U.S., your family relationships, your work history, and any applications you have filed. Knowing your options and acting early can make a significant difference. The tone of these January 2026 updates is more balanced and humane, focusing on fairness and due process. Let's talk about practical advice because information is only helpful if you know how to use it. First, stay organized. Immigration processes involve paperwork, deadlines, and follow-ups. Create a simple system to track your applications, receipts, and notices. Second, use official sources and reliable updates like this channel to stay informed. Policies can change, and having accurate information helps you make better decisions. Third, don't be afraid to seek help when needed. Community organizations, accredited representatives, and legal clinics can provide guidance, especially for complex cases. Even if you're handling your application on your own, a second set of eyes can help catch mistakes. To show how these January 2026 updates can play out in real life, consider a few scenarios. Imagine a young professional on a work visa who files for a green card and receives a work permit extension, allowing them to continue working without interruption. Or a family where one spouse finally receives a visa approval faster than expected, reuniting them after years apart. Or an individual with a pending case who benefits from more humane enforcement priorities, giving them time to regularize their status and build a stable future. These are not just policy changes on paper. They affect real people, real families, and real dreams. The overall message of January 2026 is one of cautious optimism. The system is not perfect, but it is moving in a direction that recognizes the contributions and humanity of immigrants. As we wrap up, let's recap the good news. Work permits are becoming more accessible and reliable with better processing and extensions. Green card pathways are seeing improved efficiency and reduced backlogs. Visa processing is smoother for workers, students, and families. Deportation policies are being applied with greater focus on fairness and protection for vulnerable individuals. Together, these updates create a more hopeful landscape for immigrants in the United States. If this information helped you, please support USA Immigration Explorer by liking this video, sharing it with friends and family, and subscribing to the channel. Your comments also matter, so let us know which update is most relevant to you or what topics you want us to cover next. We're here to keep you informed, empowered, and hopeful. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next update.